iPad OS 26 is a giant release.
Wow, guys, we just watched WWDC and they gave us the biggest update for the iPad ever. This is what we wanted, right? First and foremost, we're getting the liquid glass redesign, which I love, especially that clear look. We really do have a magical sheet of glass now. So with that, we're getting the redesigned lock screen, which will just change the, just change the clock for whichever photo that you're using. Kind of just redesigns it through AI, which is cool. They're also bringing the phone application to the iPad, which will help with like call forwarding and call screening, things like that. Also in messages, we're getting the custom backgrounds that we're getting across all the devices with the custom polls that you can now add. And we're getting that new Games app across all devices as well. I'm really glad that Apple just didn't use the iPad as an afterthought. This was the star of the show. It was the last operating system of the entire keynote. It described in 3 words: the iPad is portable, powerful, and versatile. That's how the iPad looks like it'll finally be. And now let's get into what we really came for. First, we got multitasking with different updated window management as well as tiling systems. So this is what Stage Manager should have been from the jump. It looks like we can now bring up as many windows as we want, tile the windows to resize them and move them however we want. And there's also a pointer. No more of that silly circle dot type of cursor. It's a real pointer. Plus the Mac-like style controls where you can minimize or close the windows out. And lastly, there's a feature they're calling Expose, which essentially just allows you to exit the multi-screen use and just go back into one app like we've been used to on the iPad. Then there's the menu bar. I said in the last video, do we really need a menu bar when we have a customized control center? And yes, we do. They're giving it to us, so we absolutely need it. It'll just be a quick way to access different things like pages, edit, view, etc. So glad they're giving it to us. I'm excited to see what we can do with it. Then they talked about supercharging the file system. Finally, they've updated the list view. So now there's just different customizable columns like date modified, size, kind, and different tags. You want to put your folders in the home dock? You can do that now. And there's a slick little animation when you hover over it that it looks like it just shows you what's actually in that file. And then they're bringing the Previews app from Mac over to the iPad, which essentially just lets you edit and view your PDFs and use it with the Apple Pencil. It looks like this app was made and intended to be used with the Apple Pencil from the jump. So that's great news as well. And they didn't stop there. There's also a ton of different audio-visual updates, starting with your audio input. You can now select what microphone you're choosing, all through different apps as well as websites to make sure that you're selecting the actual mic that you do want to use. The AirPods, those can now be used as what they're calling studio quality mics, and you can also stop and start recording from the AirPod stem. So these USB-C mics that I'm recording on an iPhone, it's taking up a USB port. So these might be null and void, and we can just use our AirPods moving forward. So we'll see about that. Finally, and this is what I've really been waiting for, is background tasks. So now, like I mentioned in the last video, I wanted to be able to do other things while I'm exporting video from Final Cut Pro on the iPad. So now I can do that. When you're exporting, that will now show up as a live activity. So you can go off and do other things, create a thumbnail, go look for different music, do whatever you want to do. Once it's done, you'll get notified and you can go back to it. So this also is going to work on DaVinci Resolve. They didn't mention LumaFusion, but because they're creating a background tasks API for developers to use, I'm sure that feature will be on LumaFusion as well, since that's a great app for video editing. So that's about it. I still can't believe they gave us all of this all in one update. We'll see if it takes, halfway through 2026 to get all these features. If so, at least it's not just a calculator or, scribbling with your Apple Pencil as the main update. We're actually getting stuff that's going to be useful, and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel with how we want to use our iPads. And they didn't even Apple it up to only have this stuff locked down to certain models or chipsets. This is going to be available throughout the entire iPad lineup. So the budget iPad, iPad mini, Air, and the Pros. And it's going to be going back a ton of generations. You can use this on the 2018 iPad Pro all the way over to the 5th generation iPad mini, which is fantastic. So tell me guys, are you finally happy with where the iPad's going after this year's WWDC? Or is there something else that you wanted to see that Apple just didn't mention? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for future videos where we'll be going over the different betas as they release. So until the next time, it's Sean with Buck Life. Peace.